we're starting to do some of this wood business, and I got a new rubber mounting strip kit that goes on this back bulkhead between the fuel tank and the bulkhead. And I have the old ones that were there, and so we can see the screw holes and we can see the marks on the wood where the old rubber was. So there's one there and there's one over here. So fair enough, we can locate those, but the which are the vertical strips, but the horizontal strip excuse me, I don't have any reference for. I don't have the old one, obviously. Don't seem to have it anyway. And I don't really see where it was mounted. I don't see any reference up here on the wood, like I see a nice line here. I don't see that on the wood, so you know, who knows whether it was in there originally or not. My assumption is that it goes across the top like that, but you know, maybe it goes across the bottom. I don't really know, to be honest with you. The bottom here is kind of rotted off, and it could have easily gone across the bottom. I suppose there's some holes there. Maybe somebody out there in Viewerville would let me know for sure whether it goes on the top or the bottom. Kind of makes sense that it goes on the top. If it went on the bottom, stuff would fall down through there and get trapped and couldn't get out. This way, this would keep stuff from going in between the tank and the backboard there. So I don't know. It seemed to me that I found a picture on the internet. See if I can find it here. And the picture looked to me like the rubber was at the bottom, and I can see on the phone here, you see the two vertical strips, and almost at the bottom looks like there's a strip across the bottom, and that might be deceiving in that picture, but obviously there's no strip across the top there in that picture. So I don't know. I'm just going to have to think about this, maybe look at some more pictures and see what I can find before I make a final decision on where that strip goes, top or bottom. I'd probably call somebody, actually. Probably call the guy I got it from. Might think about doing that. There's a row of little holes up the middle here. I don't think that means anything. Don't know what was on there, but we do have this piece of wood. We've made a new one, so we really just need to know where to mount the rubber strips, and I'd really like to get that out of the car. It's just kind of mocked up in there. Get it out. Get these rubber strips on there. We'll have to figure out again the same we did with the ones on the frame, how to drill some holes in that rubber. That's a little tricky. And then chamfer the holes so that we get some countersunk screws in there. And probably could have just used the old original ones. They're ever so little bit thinner, probably 70 or 80 thou, maybe 100 thou thinner than the new stuff. I suppose it'll all get smashed once you clamp everything together. The verdict is in. The horizontal piece goes across the top. According to the prize-winning people that I talked to yesterday, after the first video. That's where it goes. So I'm going to have to dig out some of the old pieces and see if I can find any markings, but that's where it goes. That's where we'll put it. We've got to get the other piece out off the car and get it stained. I think we'll stain it on the inside and primer it on the outside because the backside gets painted. We'll work on that here in a little bit. And we even have a picture of how it should look. So that's what we'll do. It looks like, really, it may overlap that metal piece, that metal cap that comes down over the top. We're going to kind of have to sort that out. And so I guess we can begin here. We've removed that rear bulkhead and our box and all of that for the side curtains. And really we have our frame in here, our four sides, and I'm going to set the lid in there and see how that fits. And I guess we start there and work our way out. We do have the upper door screwed onto that lid right at the moment. Probably end up having to take that off, but we can get this in there where it goes, just like that. That seems to get everything fairly square. I don't know, we'll go around the other side here and have a look-see. Up against the front. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. What we've got to do now is get up underneath, if we can, and mark the holes in the metal frame through the bottom of the side pieces. On the other side, I already have the holes, the 3 mounting holes drilled. On this side, I have to mark them, so you see if I can drop some screws in those other holes and mark these and see if we can get those things bolted together. Well, we've got our 6 holes drilled in our side pieces and got bolts down through there. We just got hex bolts in there now because I don't have long enough countersunk flatheads to go down through there. And now what we've got to do is drill our little holes in the corners and tie the 4 sides together, but our lid fits in there nice, and I think we're good and square, and we can just go ahead and drill those corner holes and tie that all together. I think we've got the rears marked. We want to drill them and countersink them and then put a little guide hole in the bottom piece so we don't split that when we put the wood screw down through there. That's what happens to these things. That overlaps there are cut in such a way that there's not a lot of wood there and they're close to the edge and it's easy to split them. The other thing that we have to do is at some point we have to figure out where we're going to put our 2 screws that hold the lid fast in there through the T-nuts, and we'll figure that out later.